Hello students, welcome to the online class of Pragjutika. My name is Animesh Kolita. I am one of your English teachers. Today we are going to start a chapter. The name of the chapter is Landscape of the Soul. This is not a story. This is an essay actually, and this particular essay is based on art, that is painting. Here the essay is discussing about three particular art forms to this particular essay, and the author is trying to tell us what these three particular art form try to convey to the audience. Tinta art former alochona hoise yat আৰু তেওঁ আমাক দেখাব বিচাৰিছে যে এই তিনটা আৰ্ট ফৰ্মৰ থ্ৰুৱেদি এজন আৰ্টিষ্টে দৰ্শকসকলক কি দেখাব বিচাৰে বা কি বুজাব বিচাৰে. The first art form which the author is discussing in this chapter is Chinese art form. So this is the oldest and ancient traditional art form, Chinese art form, and the next one is European art form. This is another one, and the third one is art brut, raw art, and outsider art. Art brut, raw art, outsider art. So these three are the same thing. Ekata bostu hoy, some people call it as art brut, some people call it as raw art, and some outsider art. Beleg no hoy, tinita ekata beleg boli bhabibo na lage. Basically art form tinta: Chinese art form, European art form, art brut, raw art, or outsider art. So the author is discussing about these three particular art form, and he is going to tell us what exactly these art form are. Kino asalte art form gita aru art form gita kun bilak kotha khamoi loi, what subjects they used to cover when they draw a painting. Ekhon painting jeta teloke onkon kore, whenever a painter draw a painting, there is a particular intention behind that. He or she try to give us a message through its creation. সৃষ্টিটোৰ যোগেদি আমাক এটা বাৰ্তা দিবলৈ চেষ্টা কৰে, আৰু কেনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ বাৰ্তানো এই তিনটা আৰ্ট ফৰ্মে আমাক জনায় সেইটোই হৈছে ল্যান্ডস্কেপ অফ দ্য সোল. সোল মিন্স আমাৰ যিটো আত্মা. So how we can discover our soul into the landscape through a particular art form, the chapter is all about that. The first, the author is telling us about Chinese art form, what exactly the Chinese art form is, and to give us a clear conception about Chinese art form, the author is telling us a story about a Chinese artist and how that particular Chinese artist tried to lost his soul into its creation, into its landscape. This is the story is all about. A wonderful old tale is told about the painter Wu Daozi, who lived in the 8th century. His last painting was a landscape commissioned by the Tang Emperor Zhuangzong to decorate a palace wall. So a very nice story about a Chinese painter. The name of the Chinese painter was Wu Daozi. He was a painter of 8th century, and he was a well-known painter on that particular period of time. And his last painting was a landscape which was commissioned or ordered by the Tang Emperor, and the intention of the emperor was to decorate his palace wall. And the landscape which the Chinese artist Wu Daozi drawn on that particular period of time, which was ordered by the Tang Emperor Zhuangzong, and that proved to be his last painting. That means after that he did not draw any painting. তেওঁ কোনো ছবি আঁকিবলৈ তেওঁ নাপালে, আৰু এই টাং এম্পায়াৰজনে যিখন ল্যান্ডস্কেপ তেওঁক আঁকিবলৈ নিৰ্দেশ দিছিল, লেণ্ডস্কেপৰ এখন ছবি তেওঁ আঁকিবলৈ কৈছিল আৰু সেই ছবিখনেই তেওঁৰ জীৱনৰ শেষ ছবি হৈছিল The master had hidden his work behind the screen so only the emperor would see it. For a long while, the emperor admired the wonderful scene, discovering forests, high mountains, waterfalls, clouds floating in an immense sky, men on helipads, birds in flight. So these are the things which Wu Daozi drawn into his painting. যিখিনি বিষয় লৈ তেওঁ ছবিখন আঁকিছিল, the landscape is all about that. তেওঁ এখন আকাশ এখন আঁকিছিল, আকাশখনৰ চৰাই কিছুমান উৰি আছিল, পাহাৰ এটা আঁকিছিল, he drew a picture of a hill where you can see a lot of trees around there, okay, আৰু তাত গছ গছনিবিলাক আছিল. Some people are working on the helipads as well, flowers, etc. So these are the things which he drawn into the landscape. And what he did actually, he hidden that particular painting behind the screen, and his intention was that the first sight on that particular painting should be the emperors who actually commissioned him to draw that particular painting. তেওঁ উদ্দেশ্যটো এইটোৱে আছিল ঢাকি থোৱাৰ যে যিহেতু সম্ৰাটজনৰ কাৰণে তেওঁ ছবিখন আঁকিছিল জুৱাংজুং, ছবিখনত প্ৰথম দৃষ্টিটো কাৰ ওপৰত? তেখেতৰ ওপৰত, কাৰণ বেলেগে যদি ছবিখন আগত দেখি যায়, the painting may have lost its importance for the emperor. Zhuangzong finally came, and when he opened the painting, he was very much impressed by the creation which was created by Wu Daozi. It was so beautiful, it was so charming that he was deeply fascinated by the act of Wu Daozi. Wu Daoziৰ যিখিনি কৰ্ম, যেটো যেনে ছবিখন অংকন কৰিলে, যিখিনি বিষয়বস্তু তেওঁ তাত দাঙি ধৰিছিলে, যিবিলাক বস্তু তেওঁ তাত আঁকিছিলে, সেইখিনি দেখি পেলাই Zhuangzong খুব প্ৰভাৱিত হ'ল. He was very happy, he was very fascinated by Wu Daozi. Look, sir, said the painter, in this cave at the foot of the mountain dwells a spirit. The painter clapped his hands and the entrance to the cave opened. Now the artist is trying to guide the emperor, and when he described the painting, actually the Chinese painting is filled with various thoughts. So it is not very easy for a person to understand a painting at his first look or at his first observation. He needs a very deep observation to get an idea behind the Chinese painting. Chinese painting এখনৰ প্ৰকৃত অৰ্থ বুজি পাবৰ কাৰণে দৰ্শকজনক যথেষ্ট মনোযোগৰ প্ৰয়োজন হয়. তেওঁ বস্তুখিনি খুব চিষ্টেমেটিকেলি তেওঁ অবজাৰ্ভ কৰিব লাগিব, তাক বুজিবলৈ চেষ্টা কৰিব লাগিব. সেইকাৰণে উ দাওজীয়ে Zhuangzungক গাইড কৰিছিলে. He is trying to guide the emperor because he knew that it may not be possible for the emperor to understand the real meaning of the painting. ছবিখনৰ প্ৰকৃত অৰ্থ বুজাত হয়তো অসুবিধা হ'ব পাৰে, সেইকাৰণে তেওঁ গাইড কৰিছিলে যে আহক, look sir, চাওক মহাৰাজ, I just want to tell you what the exact meaning of the painting. So the landscape which is drawn, there is a mountain in the landscape, and he told the emperor that at the foot of the mountain, that means at the bottom of the mountain, there is a cave. Eta guha তেওঁ আছে বুলি কৈছিল. আৰু he also told the emperor that in that particular cave dwells a spirit. That means lives a spirit. এটা আত্মাই তাত বাস কৰে বুলি তেওঁ কৈছিল. And হেতে বুলি কৈ পেলাই তেওঁ কি কৰিলে, he just clapped his hands. হাত দুখন তেওঁ হাত চাপৰি বজাই দিলে. And as soon as he clapped his hands, suddenly the entrance of the cave opened. গুহাটোৰ দুৱাৰখন কি হৈ গ'ল, নিজে নিজে খোল খাই গ'ল. Please let me show your majesty the way. The painter entered the cave, but the entrance closed behind him, and before the astonished emperor could move or utter a word, the painting had vanished from the wall. So when the entrance of the cave opened, Wu Daozi told Zhuangzong that you just follow me. I just want to show you the inner scenario of the cave. You just follow me. আপুনি হয়তো ৰাস্তাটো উলিয়াব নোৱাৰিব পাৰে, মই আপোনাক দেখাই দিম, আপুনি মোৰ পিছে পিছে আহক আৰু মই আপোনাক ভিতৰৰ দৃশ্যবিলাক মই দেখুৱাই দিম. আৰু এইটো ক'লে যে you have seen the outer appearance of the landscape, but if you go inside the painting, That means if you go inside the cave, the beauty which you find there, it is beyond any expression. You can't find any word to explain the beauty of the inner side of the painting. ছবিখনৰ ভিতৰৰ দৃশ্যখিনিৰ সৌন্দৰ্য ব্যাখ্যা কৰিবলৈ তেওঁ কৈছে যে কোনো ভাষা নাই, কিন্তু সেইটো চাবৰ কাৰণে you have to follow me. এই কথাটোৰ অৰ্থটো এইটোৱে, that means to understand the real beauty and understand the real importance of Chinese painting, one needs a very good guidance actually. From a periphery observation, one cannot discover the actual beauty in the Chinese creation, Chinese art. Chinese শিল্পৰ বা Chinese এখন চিত্ৰৰ আভ্যন্তৰীণ সৌন্দৰ্যটো উপলব্ধি কৰাটো ইমান সহজ নহয়। সেইটো উপলব্ধি কৰিবৰ কাৰণে কাৰোবাৰ গাইডেন্সৰ প্ৰয়োজন হয়, আৰু উদাওজিয়ে সেইকাৰণে জুৱাংজুঙক সেই গাইডেন্সটো তেওঁ দিছিল, আৰু তেওঁ ক'লে যে you just follow me, I will show you the actual beauty of the painting. So in that way he entered into the cave. But before the emperor, that is Zhuangzong, before he could enter into the cave, and suddenly the entrance of the cave closed. দুৱাৰখন নিজে নিজে বন্ধ হৈ গ'ল। Zhuangzong সোমোৱাৰ সুযোগটো নাপালে। He did not get the opportunity to follow the painter. Painterজনক ফলো কৰাৰ তেওঁ চান্সেই নাপালে। And before he could say or do anything, before he could utter a single word, এটা শব্দ তেওঁ ক'বলৈকে নাপালে, what happened? Suddenly the painting vanished from the wall. য'ত ছবিখন আঁৰি থোৱা আছিলে, য'ত লেণ্ডস্কেপখন য'ত আঁৰি থোৱা আছিলে, সেইখন তাৰ পৰা নিজে নিজে অদৃশ্য হৈ গ'ল। It's completely vanished. এনেকুৱা ধৰণে ভেনিছ হ'ল, not a trace of Wu Daozi's brush was left there. কেনভাছখনত Wu Daozi যিমানবিলাক কালাৰ ইউজ কৰিছিলে লেণ্ডস্কেপখন আঁকিবৰ কাৰণে, এটা চিন এটাও তাত নাথাকিলে। এনেকুৱা ধৰণে পেইণ্টিংখন ডিছএপিয়াৰ হৈ গুচি গ'ল। Not a trace of Wu Daozi's brush was left, and the artist was never seen again in this world. Not a trace, eta sinho tat nathakile, and after that Wu Daozi also never seen again in this world. Wu Daozi ko ei prithibir punora dekhibole poa nogol. So that is why the painting which Wu Daozi drawn for Emperor Zhuangzong, that proved to be the last painting of his life. Ekan তেওঁ জীৱনৰ শেষ ছবি একাৰণে হ'ল, কাৰণ after that he was never seen again in this world. So why he never seen again in this world? The moral of the story is that, the actual meaning of the story is that every Chinese painter always try to lose their soul into their creation. এটা সৃষ্টিত নিজৰ আত্মাক তেওঁলোকে সদায় বিলীন কৰিব বিচাৰে। They wanted to lose themselves into their creation. And when they are able to do that, they consider their life as a successful one. Jibon safal boli, being an artist, then they consider themselves as successful. Hilpi hisabe tetya তেওঁলোকে নিজৰ সফল বুলি মানি লয় যেতিয়া তেওঁলোকে নিজৰ সৃষ্টিত নিজৰ আত্মাক বিলীন কৰি দিব পাৰে। Okay, so this is what Wu Daozi finally able to do. আৰু এইটো এদিনতে হোৱাৰ বস্তু নহয়, lot of dedication, lot of hard work is needed for that actually. শিল্পীৰ সেই প্ৰকৃত মৰ্যাদা পাবৰ কাৰণে বহুত ত্যাগ আৰু পৰিশ্ৰমৰ প্ৰয়োজন, ডিটাৰমিনেশ্যনৰ প্ৰয়োজন, দৃঢ়তাৰ প্ৰয়োজন, কনচেন্ট্ৰেশ্যনৰ প্ৰয়োজন, হাৰ্ড ৱৰ্কৰ প্ৰয়োজন। এই গোটেইখিনি Wu Daoziয়ে আজি অত বছৰে দি আহিছিল, আৰু ফাইনেলি হি গট এ ৰিৱাৰ্ড অফ হিজ ডেডিকেশ্যন। নিজৰ ত্যাগৰ প্ৰকৃত পুৰস্কাৰটো তেওঁ পাইছিল, আৰু এজন শিল্পী হিচাপে নিজক প্ৰতিষ্ঠা কৰিবলৈ সক্ষম হৈছিল। Such stories played an important part in China's classical education. The books of Confucius and Zhuangzi are full of them. They help the master to guide his disciple in the right direction. So stories like Wu Daozi is abundant in China, and for give classical education to a student, অর্থাৎ ধ্রুপদী শিক্ষা দিবৰ কাৰণে, so such stories played a very important role for the teachers to guide their student, to guide their disciple in the right direction. It helps them to motivate their students through stories like Wu Daozi. এজন শিক্ষকে এজন ছাত্ৰক যিটো শিক্ষা দিব বিচাৰে সেইটো ক্ষেত্ৰত Wu Daozi's ষ্টৰিটো কেতিয়াবা মোটিভেশ্যনৰ কাম কৰে. They can give example of Wu Daozi to some student that see how Wu Daozi lost his creation into its soul into its creation. So this kind of hard work, this kind of dedication you have to put behind what you are doing. তুমি যেটো কৰি আছা সেইটো তুমি এনেকুৱা ধৰণৰ ত্যাগ দিব লাগিব যাতে তুমিও সময়ত নিজক আত্মাক তুমি কিবা এটা লগত বিলীন কৰি দিব পাৰা. গতিকে two famous storybook in China, that is Zhuangzi and Confucius. These books are filled with such stories like Wu Daozi. Beyond any that they are deeply revealing of the spirit in which art was considered. So these stories are ancient. These stories are very old, but still very popular in China because people used to discuss such stories among themselves in modern times as well. Contrast this story or another famous one about a painter who could not draw the eye of a dragon he had painted for fear it would fly out of the painting, with an old story from my native Flanders that I find most representative of Western painting. So this is Chinese story where you can see which particular thing played a most important role, that is the soul force. Soul force is the most important part in Chinese art form. Okay, so they don't think much about reality. The things are highly imaginative, and to understand that particular imagination, one have to put its soul behind that. প্ৰত্যেকটো বস্তু খুব কাল্পনিকতাৰ ওপৰত ভিত্তি কৰা, আত্মাৰ ওপৰত ভিত্তি কৰা বস্তুবিলাকে বেছিকৈ চাইনিজ আৰ্ট ফৰ্মত থাকে. গতিকে সেই বস্তুটো বুজিবৰ কাৰণে এজন ব্যক্তিৰ নিজৰ আত্মাটোক গভীৰভাৱে তেওঁ তাত দিবলৈ চেষ্টা কৰিব লাগিব. কিন্তু সেই ষ্টৰিটোৰ লগত এটা কণ্ট্ৰাষ্টিং ষ্টৰি ইয়াত কৈছিল, which is from native Flanders. This is quite contrasting of Chinese art form. So in this particular story, a particular painter whose name is not mentioned here, so he is a person who is an artist who used to draw the painting of dragon. Dragon is a kind of monster, very ferocious, very dangerous kind of monster, and we all know, we all can imagine what dragon is actually. So he used to, through his imaginative power, he used to draw picture of dragon. Okay, so when he draw the painting of the dragon, so when it's time to give eyes to those dragon, he stopped giving that particular thing. ছবিখন আঁকি আঁকি গৈ থাকে, যেতিয়া চকুটো যেতিয়া আঁকিবৰ সময় হয় তেওঁ ছবিখন সিমানতে ষ্টপ কৰি দিয়ে. He did not draw the eyes of that particular dragon. ড্ৰেগনটোৰ চকুকেইটা তেওঁ আঁকাটো বন্ধ কৰি দিয়ে. Why? Because he scared himself that if I put eyes into that particular dragon, it may came into a life. ই হয়তো প্ৰাণ পাই উঠিব, আৰু if it came into a life, it may be very disastrous for him as well as for the entire society. গতিকে সিমানতে ড্ৰেগনটো আঁকাটো বন্ধ কৰি দিয়ে. That means the dragon which he draws looks so real, ইমান আচল সঁচা সঁচা লাগি যায় ড্ৰেগনটো, ইমান ৰিয়েলিষ্টিক এলিমেণ্টছবিলাক ইমান তেওঁ ড্ৰেগনটো দি দিয়ে যে তেওঁ নিজেই কনফিউজ হৈ যায় যে দ্য ড্ৰেগন হুইচ হি ড্ৰজ ৱেডাৰ ইট ইজ এ ৰিয়েল ওৱান অৰ ইট ৱাজ ড্ৰন বাই হিম. এইটো সঁচা সঁচি ড্ৰেগনেই নে তেওঁ অঁকা ড্ৰেগন, তেওঁ নিজেই কনফিউজ হৈ যায়. গতিকে ফাইনেলি তেওঁ ড্ৰেগনটোৰ চকুটো তেওঁ দিয়াটো বন্ধ কৰি দিয়ে. চ' দিছ পাৰ্টিকুলাৰ ষ্টৰি ইজ ভেৰি মাছ ৰিজেম্বল, দিছ পাৰ্টিকুলাৰ থিং ইজ ভেৰি মাছ ৰিজেম্বল উইথ European art form, because European art form is basically based on realism. It's based on realistic. Okay, so later on we can know about the contrasting features of Chinese painting as well as European painting, and later on we also know about art group, raw art or outside art as well. Okay, so here I am stopped for today. I will discuss few more things about landscape of the soul in the next class. Thank you.